Do you also know those days where you think there was this one little thingy on my last project that I can't get out of my head, even if it was an accident, coincidence? And then there are some thoughts in your head where you think, okay, can I do this again, but on purpose? Can I perhaps even create cool effects with this accident? If I can recreate it? Perhaps you also think a step further and you think, okay, I can do it again, but can I change that a little bit so that it gets even better? And for what can I use that for future projects? That's exactly how I feel today. There happened something on this project here, which you've seen in my last video, and I can't wait. I have to experiment today, and I thought I will turn on the camera and take you with me. So welcome to Chaotic Experiments with Louise. If you don't know me yet, please don't be shocked. Not every video on my channel is that chaotic like this will probably be. So if you like what you see here, please subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions and so on. Welcome to Junk Journal Art. That's the name of my channel, and that's what I'm doing here. Junk journals with a little bit of art journaling. So let me explain what happened. And to all of you who came back here, who are following me for a longer time, thanks for joining me today, of course. So this is a little card that has pockets on the back. I've created this in my last video. This is part of my travel journaling box, which I made to document my last holiday in Rome. You can find the video where I made this linked down below in the description box. And there's also a whole playlist where you can watch my videos about travel journaling. So I made this to have a memory about a day in Lido di Ostia. That is the name of the city where I was. That is a little bit outside of the center of Rome. And I wanted to document what I have experienced on that day. And for that I have stamped here to my oxide inked background with this stamp. This is called Bubbles by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and the number is CMS 449 if you want to check this out. And if you compare this really exactly, then you can see that here is something that is mainly here on the bottom where the stamp impression ends, and that is something that you can't see here. And that's because that is not part of the stamp or the stamping itself. I have splattered some water to my background after I have blended some oxide inks, and then I have dried that really, really well to be able to emboss this stamp impression. So this is embossed with white embossing powder, and then I've smeared some ink over it, and I've also stamped here, but that doesn't matter. The main point is I thought that my background is totally dry, and it needs to be dry, of course, to make sure that I can emboss on it. Otherwise, the water would stick to the wet areas. And that's what happened here. I thought it was dry, but the embossing powder sticked to these little frames of the water puddles, and then it got embossing powder on it, and I could emboss this shape as well. So I thought, can I perhaps recreate that on purpose? Because this is just a gorgeous effect. It gets a little bit lost. Louisa, that is funny. Lost in between. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I'm telling myself some jokes. It gets a little bit lost in between of the rest of the stamp impression. And I thought perhaps we can make something like that on purpose and try to emboss those frames of the water puddles. So I have taken out these, the distress tags by Ranger, and I have to say this is the second time that I am using these. I have them new in my stash, and the first time was an hour ago when I recorded my German video. So this is actually like the first time that I'm using them. I have absolutely no experience with this kind of paper. But I can already tell you that this is just awesome. It's just awesome. I was so surprised when I did that in the German, for the German video. I can't tell you. So let's see. The reason why I'm taking 4 tags here is because this is an experiment. And if I had only 1 tag, I won't have the possibility to compare what I'm doing here. The first thing that I want to do is I want to make some ink blending for the background or backgrounds in different colors. And for that, I'm going to use my oxide ink pads. And for all of you who are scared now, I got friend with pink. Because of that, I'm going to start with picked raspberry and wild honey. I want to try this combination. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here and try to get a nice blended background. And this paper, I don't know, I really don't know why I haven't discovered that earlier, because I'm so surprised about how the oxide ink reacts on this paper. It's so easy to apply, really, really cool. And it also blends really well. Fantastic. I'm going to take wild honey next. And if this gets a little bit irregular, I mean, the experts among you would perhaps now say that is not a nice blending, Louise. Practice that and then come back. But I don't need the perfect blending in this case, because I will add some water in a second, and I don't need a perfect result here because this will change up a lot and I don't have to waste my time to get that, like, you know, more accurate. So let's go on with the next color combination. And for that, I've chosen chipped sapphire. And perhaps you will be surprised about that, or perhaps you have already tried it. While I'm doing this, you can guess the second color. I'm so sorry. I have the feeling that I have to make jokes, but I don't want to, you know. That's because I'm so excited. Let's put a little bit of that here as well, because I already know what I have found out when I recorded the German video. And of course I want to share it with you. Where is the second color here? And I'm hoping that you are as excited as I am about this. This is saltwater taffy. Have you ever used chipped sapphire and saltwater taffy together? It's such a cool combination. And if you want to know exactly how I came to the idea to combine these colors, I saw a house close to the center of Rome when I was there. And that house had exactly this combination that was something like, yeah, saltwater taffy and chipped sapphire. And that looked so cool. I thought I have to take a photo and take the photo with me. And then at home I can remember this combination. And I immediately thought about both of these colors and that I want to try them out in this combination. And you can already see how gorgeous this is. Absolutely fantastic. The next color combination that I want to try is mustard seed and crushed olive. For the last one here, I'm going to use peacock feathers. And the second color that I've chosen for this is Uncharted Mariner. Ooh. So now I'm going to take my water. I'm going to spritz this here first, just by pressing this thing slowly. I don't want to mist my paper with water. I want to have these really big blobs. And when I have that, I'm going to take the water and spritz it to my hands and let that fall off from my hand on the tag, so that I get really big areas of water. I don't want to make everything wet, but I want to have really big areas next to those like smaller splatters. And I'm putting the smaller splatters mainly to the outer areas of this surface. Just like this. And now the problem is, you don't know, perhaps you know it, then please tell me how long or how much you have to dry this. I don't know how to know when it's dry enough, but wet enough at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Because when I had this accident on my other project here, I have taken, this was watercolor cardstock by Ranger, a different kind of paper than this is. That could be also a reason. But I have let my background dry, first air dry, and then I used my heat tool to dry it completely, and it felt completely dry. But I have no idea how I can recreate that. And I've tried it in the German video, as I said, approximately an hour ago. I've recorded the other video already, so I have some things that I already know and can tell you, but some things are really weird to me because we have these areas of water here now, and if I would now take my heat gun, then it would be a logical thing for me that those areas dry from the outside to the inside and not the other way around. That means at the same time that the frame must dry first. Or what do you think about that? That is a little bit weird. I've also experienced when I take a paper towel and put that on here to remove these bigger areas of water, then that is obviously also already too much sometimes. But I also got some cool results by doing exactly that with the paper towel. So I'm not totally sure, you know, what I shall do, but I know that I want to let 2 of these dry by themselves. Okay, so what I want to do here now is I want to have a dry paper towel next to me. On this one, I'm going to dry this with my heat gun and then apply embossing powder. And as I said, this is a little bit weird because I don't know how long you have to dry this. So please try that out. I'm trying to see when the water is like going away, and then I stop when I think, okay, that is enough. On this one, I want to work with golden embossing powder. I'm going to use this one here by Ranger because I think that gold here is a really cool color in combination with the colors that we have here. So I'm covering the whole tag. Ooh, yeah, we have something. Haha. So now you can see it worked medium well, yeah? And that's what I can't understand yet, but perhaps you have a trick. Here you can see there's a line around this thing, exactly where the ink has built this shape. Here as well, and also here, even here on the top. But here it's covering everything because obviously here there was a solid area which was still wet when I added the powder. And that's what I can't understand so well, why there are areas like this and areas like this. But I mean, this is an experiment and we can get awesome results with this as well. And you will see hopefully in a second that I'm right. But I want to try something. I'm going to take a pencil, also use some scissors or something like that. and I'm trying to remove some of the powder, which is sitting on the water there where it's so much. And I have to say, in the German video that worked perfectly fine, and now it's a little bit strange because, you know, can you see that? There's a little bit that has gone here and here, but the rest is still there. That doesn't matter. I will in a second emboss that, but before I do that, I will put another color of embossing powder to the other one, so that that doesn't get too dry in the meantime. And for this color combination, I'm thinking that this powder, that's called Bubbly, works really well. And here you can see I still have these really wet areas. And on this one, I want to try to take a paper towel and carefully remove some of the water. And then we will see what we are going to get with this. It's not what I want, but it's awesome. It's just awesome. And that's the cool thing about experimenting, isn't it? I mean, yeah, but here, look, when I did this, what I just did on the back side, here, look, that has removed here a little bit. Why is that happening? I can't understand that. Here, there's this frame, and this was a solid area before I flicked to the back. And now it's like this. Can you see that? It's gone a little bit, but not completely. Here, you can see the frame, and then here's this solid area. Why is that happening? This is absolutely amazing. Look, it's not what I wanted, but look. Ah, this is so cool. That looks like like a sky in a fairyland or Disneyland or something like that. Look. I'm so in love. This is just amazing. On those colors here, this golden powder looks just so amazing. It's really, really gorgeous. I really like that. Here I can feel it's a little bit damp, and here there are puddles of water. Can you see? Excuse me, these wet areas there. And this is, of course, way too much water, or not of course, but for me, it's way too much water to emboss this. So I'm going to take a paper towel, and I will remove this here carefully without ruining my background. Don't smear it around, just carefully lift it off. Oh, I have to drink a sip of something. I'm so sorry. Here, I want to use white because I think that is a cool contrast here, and I'm thinking about the sea, ocean themed journal or something like that. And I think that white can look really great here. Of course, please, if you don't have white or if you don't like it, use something else. Yeah. That's so funny because this is nearly exactly what I got in the German video. Here's a mixture of those areas where a lot of water was. I've expected this, but some areas have these lines around the shapes where the water is or was. If you have something like this, you can also try to move this around a little bit, so that if you don't like that, the edge gets not so like extremely. Do it like this. Yep, that worked totally fine. Look. And then it gets not so extremely when we dry it. So dry. I'm so sorry. I always say dry. When we melt it. Holy crap. for me, that is really interesting. I know that it's not everyone's taste, but I really, really enjoy how this gets like faded and textured at the same time. This is probably a little bit weird here because it's like, yeah, like it's really a little bit like Mickey Mouse or like a bunny or something. But I will talk about something that I had in mind later. When you have something like this, what you can do then. So let's put that aside and let's see what this thing is doing. Yeah. Here we have the same thing. It's still really, really wet. So I'm going to take another fresh paper towel to make sure that I don't get any ink on here that I don't want to have here. And then for this one, I'm going to take black embossing powder. And please don't laugh at me. Here are some tiny fibers in my powder. Oh, a piece of art. I've accidentally embossed some fabric the other day, and I didn't realize that some of the fibers went to my powder, and now they are there. I was freaking out in that moment, but now they are there. This is this or what? I mean, what? Look. Ah! I will only remove this here because that looks weird. And then let's melt that. Holy moly. Shall we flick to the back as well, or shall we just leave it? I think looks a little bit like we could remove a tiny, tiny amount. Yeah, we can. I need grandma's pencil. That always helps. Haha. Look. That is more what I was looking for. This looks relatively different to what we had before, I know, but let's melt that and you will see this will turn out perfect. Haha. This turns out absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. I've just talked to Barbara at 49 Dragonflies before I recorded this experimental video here and asked her if she has seen something like this. Hi, Barbara. And she said no, she hasn't seen that before. I asked her because she's often embossing with water, and that looks always so, so amazing. If you don't know her channel, go and check that out, 49 Dragonflies. And she said she hasn't seen that before, and now I'm thinking, Barbara, is this something that you want to try as well? I guess so. I know her very, very well in the meantime, I would say. And I think when she sees this, she wants to try it. Barbara? I will definitely send you a photo. So when you see this, you've already seen it on your phone. But, oh, what the heck? Look. And I really don't know. Can someone please explain that to me? Why is this so white here now? I mean, this is black powder. But that's totally my cup of tea. I mean, that's totally great, but I can't explain it. But I think there are also those things that you don't have to explain. And that's also something that I really enjoy sometimes. I think here I want to add a tiny amount of water without, oh, that's perhaps already too big, without embossing it. Just let the little drops air dry so that this, yeah, this has now just a little bit more interest, and this is totally fine, I think. And I just wanted to tell you, if we have something like this, yeah, and we think, okay, what is that? That looks totally weird. Then please imagine something you always can do with such a tag. I have to say, when I saw Tim doing that in one of his videos, and I saw it for the first time, I was like, holy moly, what is he doing there? Why is he cutting his tag? Yeah, I saw no reason why you should cut a tag, and I was shocked. Yeah, I was really shocked. But look, it's good. It's absolutely fantastic, because when you think, ooh, that looks weird, especially this, where's the problem to just cut this here and have something that looks nice? This makes sense. Well, what do you think? The other way around, ooh, I'm sorry, if I would cut it there, then this would be left. This is not nice, but it's better than this. Yeah, this, it looks a little bit like boobies. Do you also see that? I mean, you could also, of course, leave it if you also have a little bit of pain when you cut a tag, and just put something over here, like, you know, a little strip of paper, or a little, you know, I'm just taking a piece of something. This is totally the wrong color, but look, imagine this was another color. Then you could just cover that up, make a little like belly band or something, put a quote here, and the tag makes sense and your background makes sense, even if this is not so what you wanted in the beginning. Shall we put some water here as well? I think so. I will do it the same way, and I will do it here as well. Perhaps we can break this area a little bit. Of course, you could also, that just comes to my mind, you could of course also splatter with some ink now, or oxide ink, or whatever, a paint, what you want. That can help, of course, to break those extreme areas as well. You will definitely see all of these tags in my next video again, because look, totally different. Look what the water did. Crazy. The boobies are still there, but I had a clown for breakfast. I'm so sorry. This is normal when I do these kind of things. It will get better the next time, perhaps. Probably not, because the next video is also going to become like an experimental video, because I want to go on with these and try something, but not with embossing powder, but with stamps. So if you want to see these tags again in my next video, then stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then you can of course do that to get a notification when I upload the next video. And we will do something with these to jazz them up and to make them into something that is even more interesting than this. If there's someone out there who can explain this phenomenon a little bit more in detail, and who can explain how I can get more controllable results, then please, please, please either call me, write me an email, or do something. Yeah, make a little fire and let some clouds go into the sky, which I can see. You know what I mean. Please let me know if you know something about this. And if you perhaps have a video on your own YouTube channel or on another channel, please just link that down below in the comment section. I'm hoping that we can figure out some more things about this and some new techniques perhaps. I don't know if this is new. I'm sure someone has done it before I did it here, but perhaps not in this way, but in a different way. And perhaps we can throw that into one bowl, stir it a little bit, and then we have something new and we can inspire each other. That's the main goal of this thing. So I wish you a very, very happy and creative day. See you the next time. Bye bye.